Okay, a pleasant good morning sa inyong lahat, no? And welcome back to my virtual classroom. Okay, sa subject natin na operation auditing or operation audit, okay, nasa lesson 2 na tayo. At ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon ay ang operational auditing and retail auditing. Ha? Okay, so let's start. Okay, ibigay din natin, no, ano ba yung mga sa lesson, no, na nakuha natin at yung kukunin pa natin, ha? Okay, so at ating diniscuss, no, sa lesson 1 ay yung ating no, yung ating overview ng operational auditing. Actually, binigay muna natin yung ating what is auditing, tapos yung mga types of audit, di ba? So yan yung mga napag-aralan natin last time, no? So it's all about introduction to auditing. Now, yung pangalawa nga, ito nga, ngayon, i-discuss naman natin, yung mismong ating, ano na, no? Yung ating lesson, yung subject na talaga. Now, ito yung operational auditing. Now, ang kasunod niyan, yung risk-based and process approach. Now, yung pang-apat, yung operational auditing and process. And then yung panlima, yung performance evaluation. Ha? Okay. Now, ibigay din natin ano-ano ba yung mga learning objectives, no? So, ano yung mga kailangan natin na matutunan o malaman ngayong araw, no, sa ating magiging discussion. Now, yung una, define what is operation audit, its type and principle. Now, nabanggit na natin last time what is operation audit, o, 'di ba? Kasi nabanggit natin 'yan pero pahapyaw lang. So, dito i-discuss natin talaga siya. Now, yung pangalawa, discuss the objectives of operation audit, phases, and the common processes, no, that involves in operation audit. Now, yung pangatlo, what are of business processes and audit process methodology. At yung pang-apat, ay i-discuss natin what is retail audit. Ha? Okay, so let's start. So, unahin muna natin, no? So, tulad nga ng nabanggit natin, unahin muna natin, no, itong operational audit, no. Actually, nabanggit nga, tulad ng nabanggit ko nga sa inyo kanina, ito ay nabanggit na sa inyo, no, yung word na operational audit. Pero balikan natin uli yung kanyang definition. So, ano ba ang definition ng operational audit? Now, ang operational audit is a comprehensive evaluation of company's operation, no? So, yung ano lang 'no, dun lang tayo nakatutok kung saan nag-ooperate, 'di ba dun kumikita yung company, 'di ba, dun sa kanyang operation. Ano ba yung mga sistema o systems na pinatutupad at yung mga process na involved, in the operation, 'no? Now, bakit ba natin kailangan ang operation audit? Okay, kasi kita sa tatlong kadahilanan. So, unahin muna natin, no? Una, it helps businesses optimize their operation and improve efficiency. Now, plus sa operation audit, syempre, 'di ba, tinitingnan niyan yung mga step by step na no, ng processes, tinitignan, no, kung meron tayong mga sabihin natin na identify yung mga value added activities and non-valued activities. Now, paano natin mai-improve yung efficiency? By removing yung mga non-value added activities. Ha? So ito nasa ganun mapaikli yung oras at the same time hindi ito makakaapekto no do sa quality ng product o ng services na pino-provide ng company. So therefore it will improve the efficiency. Ha? Now, ano yung pangalawa? Play crucial role in mitigating risk. Now, ang risk class is a hindrance no do sa hindrance para sa isang company to meet its objectives, no, or stated objectives. Now, dito, class sa auditing, ng operation auditing, ina-identify ano yung mga possible risk, no, na maaaring makaapekto sa operation ng company. Nang sa ganun, makagawan kaagad ng pamamaraan, no? And sometimes, ito yung mga risk din, no, na possible, dapat meron ding control. Ha? Tandaan natin, ang internal control na pini-place no ng isang company is to mitigate yung mga risk. So therefore, yung auditing ng operational auditing can sabihin natin can recommend no mga possible internal control upgrade o kaya or place an additional internal control to mitigate yung mga risk na identify. Okay. Now, overall, it will enhance the business performance, no? Kasi nga efficient na siya and then effective yung mga internal control. So therefore, ang pinakaano nito, it will enhance the business performance at meet yung needs din ng mga customer. Ha? Okay. Now, i-discuss naman natin what are the key components of an operational audit. Actually, meron tayong tatlo, no? So, yung una, syempre, yung evaluation of internal control. Now, dito, class, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, ina-identify yung mga possible risks, no? So, ini-identify din yung evaluation ng internal control kung ito ay sapat pa para doon sa mga risk na ano no, sa risk. 'Di ba, sabi nga natin kanina, kung merong risk, meron siyang kasapat na dapat na internal control. Ngayon, tinitingnan yan from time to time, no? Nire-review yan kung sapat pa ba yung internal control na in place to check yung mga risk na nakita o ay na-identify. Ha? Kung sakaling hindi na, then the auditor can recommend, no? Recommend additional internal control, sabi natin, i-place an additional internal controls, no? To mitigate nga yung mga risk na na-identify. Now, yung pangalawa, class, no? Yan na natin, yung mismong audit program, no? Yan, yung audit program. Ito yung involved yung mga audit procedures na fina-follow ng isang auditor. Procedures and audit planning, yan, no? So, yan yung mga kasama niya, no, sa audit program. At syempre, yung pangatlo, yung human resource. Ito naman ay yung mga pagpili ng mga tao o mga auditor na mga ngasiwa ng operational audit. Now, class, tandaan natin, syempre, mayroong mga qualifications na involved, no, sa pagpili ng mga auditor para maisagawa ng tama yung operational audit. Now, there are 7 key principles of internal audit. So, isa-isahin natin yan, no? Siyempre, independence, no? Actually, di ba yung independence natin, so ibig sabihin, wala siyang magiging problema when it comes to his or her audit, no? Di ba yung ibig sabihin, wala siyang pressure from outside or inside, no? Nang masagawa niya ng tama yung kanyang trabaho. Now, yung pangalawa, yung competence. O alam na dapat niya ang kanyang ginagawa o ang kanyang meron siyang sapat na kaalaman o talino para masagawa talaga yung internal audit. Now, pangatlo, yung objectivity. So, ibig sabihin nito wala lang bias, no? No biases, no? O kaya objective siya, straightforward siya sa kanyang pag-audit. Now, yung pang-apat, yung confidentiality. Now, class, hindi pe pwedeng ano, no, kung whatever findings na makita, hindi yung pe pwedeng i-divulge, no, unless there is, sabihin na natin, on authorization from the company or a court order, no, yung kung sakaling kailangang i-divulge yung mga information or information na nag-gather during the audit. Okay, professionalism. Okay, yung professionalism means ito na yung integrity, no? Integrity ng integridad ng isang auditor. And then due professional care, naging maingat siya, no, sa kanyang pagtatrabaho bilang isang auditor. And then, of course, yung continuous improvement. Now, continuous improvement in the side of the auditor. Now, magagawa lang yan kung siya ay patuloy, no? Katulad din namin, kami as an accountant, patuloy kami, no, before we can renew yung aming CPA license, we attend, no, nung mga sabihin natin, mga seminars, workshops, and webinars, no, for CPD, CPE Continuing Professional Education Certificate, no? Kasi it is a requirement para na sa gano'n ma-renew namin yung aming mga license. Now, for the auditor, yung internal auditor, not only no yung sa mga CPE, but maging ano rin siya, no, yung ibig sabihin na kung merong kinakailangan na pag-aralan, for example, a program or IT, no? So kailangan maging kompetensya doon sa kanyang trabaho, ha? Okay. Now, there are types of operational audit. So, isa-isahin natin, no? So, yung una, yung IT audit. Siyempre, evaluate the efficiency and effectiveness of company IT system. So, that is yung IT audit. Now, yung pangalawa naman, yung financial audit. Now, financial audit focus on the accuracy and reliability of company financial records and reporting. So, yun naman ang concern ng mga financial audit, no? So, financial records. Now, pangatlo, yung departmental audit. Now, eto class, ang audit lang nito ay nakatuon lang sa isang particular na department o yung kanilang audit is target specific department or function within the company. Ha? Okay, ibigay pa natin yung iba, no? Yung marketing audit. Now, marketing audits evaluate the company's marketing strategies, no? Campaigns and activities. Now, class usually, ang audit dito sa mga ganito, yung marketing audit, ay tinitignan nila yung key performance, no, yung KPI, no? So, kumbaga, yun yung ano yung standard di ba? Yung kumbaga, yung measurement ng kanilang magiging output. So, ino-audit nila yon, tinitignan nila kung na-meet nila yung kanilang mga KPI, no? Okay, key performance indicator ang tawag natin sa KPI, ha? Now, for every objective, there is a KPI, no? Kung paano mo, kasi yung KPI kasi, yun ang magiging sukatan mo kung na-meet mo talaga yung iyong objectives, no? Okay. Now, yung sumunod ay yung compliance audit. Now, compliance audit ensures that the company is operating in accordance with applicable laws, regulation, and industry standard. Not only do sa ano natin, no, class, no, sa loob mismo, 'di ba? Merong mga policies, may mga rules and regulation na pinatutupad ang mga company, but also, no, tinitingnan din yung kunyari pag-follow sa mga existing laws like yung environmental laws o even yung mga tax laws, no? So yun tinitignan yung kung yun ay nami-meet, no? And even kung sakali na member siya ng isang industry, then meron ding industry standard na pinatutupad, ha? So therefore yun ang nire-review ng mga auditor kung ito ay nakakapag-comply sa mga yan, ha? And then yung sumunod naman yung investigative audit. Now, class, these audit are conducted when there is suspicion of fraud. Now, sometimes ito, class, yung investigative audit is more of yung forensic. Pero yung forensic kasi, class, medyo malalim yun. Kasi talagang kailangan mo dun ay airtight talaga yung evidence, no? Para kasi magkakaso, no? Ito, class, ito kung merong example nito, class, yung kunyari, merong mga nawalang pera, 'di ba? Lalo na nung nagtatrabaho ako sa bank, no? May mga nawalang pera, then merong pumupunta talaga ng mga auditor to investigate kung magkano nawalang pera at kung paano din nangyari, kung paano nawala yung pera, no? So, they involved in an in-depth examination and analysis of financial records, transactions, and employee activities to uncover any potential wrongdoing. Ha? Okay. Now, yung pinaka-last nito, yung follow-up audit, no? Now, these audit are conducted after previous operational audit, no? Now, class, ito naman, 'di ba, kung ito ay nakapagbigay na sila ng mga recommendation. 'Di ba? Kunyari, nag-audit na sila at tapos tinitingnan nagbigay sila ng mga recommendation for them to implement. Now, class, kasi after the audit 'yan, meron kasi yan yung post-audit, no? Post-audit na kumbaga yung auditor kasama niya yung mga managers, no, ng particular na ano, kung kunyari operation manager. Okay, so nagbibigay sila ng mga recommendation isa-isa, no. So nakaano 'yan. So tinitignan nila man 'yan sa follow-up audit, tinitignan nila 'yan kung na-meet na nila yung mga recommended, no. So ano na yung progress, no, progress nung kanilang pag-i-implement nung kanilang mga recommendation, no. Okay. Now, guide to conducting an effective operational audit. Now, class, ito ay isang tip lang, no? During the audit kasi, ito yung mga kailangan din na gawin, no? So, unahin natin yung step by step, no? O, yung step 1, yung define the scope and objectives, no? So, ito na talaga yung parang sabihin natin kung paano kinoconduct yung operational audit. Now, define mo muna yung scope and objective. Bakit ba kailangan mag-audit? Now, yung step 2 naman, analyze, no? Collect and analyze data. Now, marami tayong pamamaraan ng pag-collect and analyze data, no? So, palagay ko mamaya madi-discuss natin 'yan no? Isa-isa, no? Paano kino-collect yung analyze and data. Now, yung pangatlo, conduct interviews, no? Now, eto class, 'di ba, yung ano, interview kasi, ito rin yung isang pamamaraan para malaman mo kung paano talaga yung process. 'Di ba? Meron kasi mga pagkakataon hindi mo talaga yung alam yung process. Para mas maintindihan mo, you conduct interview to the source ano, resource person, no? Yung nakakaalam talaga nung process. Okay. Now, identify gaps and deficiencies, no? After comparing, no? So, kung sabihin natin, kung meron kang standard na pinapalo, and then, kinukompare mo ngayon yung actual against dun sa standard, kung nasusunod ba. So, therefore, it will create gaps, no? And deficiencies, no? So, kung makikita mo kung bakit nagkaroon, ano yung reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng gap and deficiencies. So, yun yung pagtutuunan, no? And then, recommend changes, no? And then implement and monitor. Ha? So, yan yung guide natin. Now, common challenges in operational auditing and how to overcome them. Now, class, di ba, doon sa huli natin, nagre-recommend tayo ng mga possible changes, no, sa mga operational, sabihin natin, yung mga ginagawa sa operation. So, nagre-recommend ang auditor kasi ang kanyang goal naman talaga is to improve yung mga processes. No? So, nagbibigay ng recommendation yan at nakalagay yan. Now, ano ngayon yung mga challenges na sabihin natin na nangyayari? 'Di ba usually may mga pagbabago, merong mga ano yan merong mga sabihin natin resistance to change. Okay. So ano yung mga yan, no? So unahin natin. Okay. Una, obtaining accurate and reliable data. Now, sometimes yung mga tao are not cooperative, no, during the audit. Okay, kasi ayaw nga nila na magkaroon ng pagbabago. So therefore, sometimes hindi ka makakuha talaga ng reliable and accurate data from people in the operation. O sometimes wini-withhold pa. Mayroong mga nangyayaring ganun. Okay, pangalawa, resistance to change. Now, lalo na kung ito ay maapektuhan. Now, class, kanina, nabanggit ko sa inyo, ang isa sa mga parang sabihin natin na ginagawa ng audit, during sa mga processes, ay ma-identify kung ano yung mga value-added at non-value added activities. Kasi kung non-value added activities yan, ibig sabihin niyan, pwedeng tanggalin kasi hindi naman ito makakaapekto sa quality ng produkto at saka o kaya ng services na pinoprovide ng company. Kaya nga non-value added siya eh. Ngayon, merong mga pagkakataon class doon sa pwesto na yun, sa mga pwesto na nasa value added activities na yun, ay maaaring maapektuhan kasi magiging redundant sila sa operation ng company. So therefore, there are resistance in changes, no? Merong mga resistance yan na mangyayari talaga. Okay, kasi maapektuhan sila. Okay. Now, resource constraint. Now, tandaan natin kung mayroong mga pagbabago na nire-recommend, let's also consider din yung kanilang mga budget. 'Di ba? Baka mamaya kailangan natin ilagay natin 'to, i-computerize natin 'to. Wala namang budget para dun sa computerization ng buong departamento. So therefore, hindi tayo pupuwedeng mag-recommend ng gano'n. Kasi nga wala nga out of the budget. Hindi rin mai-implement 'yun kasi nga merong resource constraints. Okay. Ensuring audit recommendation are implemented. Kaya nga merong follow-up audit, no? So yung mga recommendation to see to it na na-implement talaga 'yun, ha? Now, tips for streamlining your company's operational audit processes, no? So clearly define your objectives, use technology and automation, 'di ba? So ano na ngayon, karaniwan na ngayon, they recommend yun nga yung technology and automation para mapabilis, no, yung pagpoproseso. Now, prioritize your findings, no? Okay. Now, redevelop a clear action plan, monitor and evaluate. So, yan yung ano natin, no? Yan yung, kumbaga parang additional tips, no? Na sa ganun magkaroon ng maayos na operational audit. Okay, so sa number 2 na tayo, no? Okay, so pag-usapan naman natin ngayon yung objectives of operational auditing. Okay. Now, ano ba yung objectives of operational audit? Now, class, hindi tayo pwede, no? Ito, let me maging clear lang tayo. Now, meron talagang objectives talaga ang audit. Pero sa operational audit, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin natin yung kumbaga parang sabihin natin na tailor-made na objectives ng audit. Okay. Now, ang karaniwan kasi niyan, iba-iba kasi kung bakit kinonduct yung operation audit. So, ang ano neto, yung defining the objectives of any engagement is essential as an initial step to put the right footing for success. Now, yung objectives kasi iba-iba, iba-iba din yung pamamaraan na gagamitin. Wala tayong parang sabihin natin na may ginawa that fits all. Wala tayong ng ganun. So, kailangan natin yung objectives natin, kasama natin yung ating mga management. No? So, internal audit should be careful not to define the objectives unilaterally. O ibig sabihin, ikaw yung mismong auditor ang mag-define ng objectives. Kasi nga, iba-iba nga yung pangangailangan, iba-iba yung naging reason kung bakit merong operational audit. Now, internal auditor should get management involvement. Kasi sila yung nakakaalam ano ba talaga yung kailangan talaga sa audit. 'Di ba? As much as possible to make sure that the review will meet their needs. So, kasi sa kanila yung pangangailangan. Nandun ka lang naman is to assist, no? Yung audit. At nandun ka lang naman doon to yung audit is to recommend, no? That will benefit din yung management. Okay. Now, para magkaroon ng maximum benefit for the management, kailangan ma-identify mo muna kung ano yung kanilang needs. And that will be the start of your objective. O kaya ito yung magiging basis ng your objective. Okay. So ano ba yung mga objectives ng operational auditing? Now, eto i-ano ko na natin, no. Yung una syempre yung governance, 'di ba? Governance. Okay. Yung tamang pamamalakad, So it involves yung internal control and risk, no. Okay, daw yung business risk din kailangan ma-identify. Ma-identify kung ano yung mga risk. So, the operational auditor can recommend, no, yung ibig sabihin natin yung controls, no, to mitigate yung mga risk. Organizational infrastructure. Okay, and then also yung ethics, no. Okay, so that is yung mga objectives of operational audit. And even also yung technology, ha? Okay. Now, aside from that, yung objectives natin, class, sabi nga natin, ay based dapat sa new rules, no? Mga rules na pinatutupad ng ano. Actually, sabi ko nga sa inyo, 'di ba, ito yung ano natin 'di ba, yung objectives natin dapat meron tayong pinagbabasihan, 'di ba, doon sa ginagawa. So it includes yung mga new rules, okay, just in case there are poor performance, 'di ba? Ibig sabihin biglang bumaba, tinitingnan ko ano yung reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng poor performance. Okay, compliance issues, okay, bakit hindi nako-comply? And then also yung anomalous revenue and expenses. Okay, therefore there is a possible fraud. So therefore yung objectives, ito yung pwedeng maging objectives ng internal auditor. Sabi nga natin hindi unilaterally. Okay, so kasama dapat ang management, Now, what are the phases of operational audit? Okay, so tatlo, no? Actually, meron tayong planning, field work, and reporting. Ito ay hindi kaiba dun sa mga regular audit, no? Okay, kumbaga hindi operational audit, kunyari financial audit, meron din pagpaplano. Now, meron tayong mga standard na sinusunod diyan, no? When it comes to planning, when it comes to field work, and also when it comes to reporting. Okay, so para maging maayos ang pagko-conduct ng audit. Okay. So unahin muna natin yung planning, Okay. Now, sa planning class, kasama dito yung una, yung risk assessment. Now, ano natin yan, take up natin yung risk assessment sa next natin na PowerPoint. Now yung risk assessment class, kasi doon natin, kasi 'di ba sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang audit kasi class sa totoo lang ay may limited lang yung kanilang time at limited din ang kanilang mga resources. Now, by identifying yung mga risk, no, ibig sabihin nagkaroon ka ng risk assessment. Now, mapa-prioritize mo ngayon kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin. Kasi nandoon yung, kumbaga tinitingnan niya kung mas mataas ang risk, doon ka pumunta. So, yun yung priority mo. Ngayon, kung hindi naman to masyadong risk, hindi yun ang priority mo. Okay. Nasa ganun, yung resources mo, magamit mo ng tama. Now, it is identification and evaluation of several aspects of an entity whereby risks are identified and evaluated for use in guiding the audit procedure. Okay. No, so yun ang magiging magse-serve as your guide, no, kung papaano gagawin, no, o papaano pagpaplano. Okay. Now, ito yung mga risk factor, no? Kunyari, sabihin na natin, last time audited. Okay lang pa ba yung pinaka-last na audited niyan? So, therefore, yung risk profile niyan, titignan mo kung nag-increase ba o decrease, no? So, another risk factor, yung major system change. Okay, yung pagbabago sa isang sistema. 'Di ba, kunyari from manual naging computerized, so that is a major system change, no? Okay. Now, yung sinasabi natin complexity, okay, geographical dispersion, okay, liquidity, and volume of transaction. No, so usually ito yung mga nagiging basis o yung mga risk factor na tinitignan sa operational audit. Okay. Now, sabi nga natin class, hindi puwedeng unilateral yung objective ng isang ano 'no, ng isang auditor 'no, when it comes to do sa planning. Okay, so siyempre ang kailangan din natin magkaroon tayo ng engagement with other no, with management 'no. So engage in participative practices. Okay. Another, okay, reviewing prior audit working papers, no, yung working paper as provides insight to operation review. Now, isa rin yun sa mga kailangang gawin, no? Tignan mo yung last yung kanilang audit, ano na yung nangyari. Tapos tignan mo rin ngayon, ano yung mga recommendation din yung last time. So, tignan mo rin kung ito ay na-implement din. So, makikita mo ngayon kung ano ngayon yung ano, no? Yung, kumbaga parang history, no? Yung history ng audit, no? So, yan yung ano natin. Now, aside dun sa ano natin planning, eto 'no, at least magkaroon din kayo ng idea. Now, audit procedure and their meaning 'no. Okay, when it comes to reconcile, ang meaning niyan is to tie information from two separate sources to verify accuracy 'no. So, or expected discrepancy, So, nire-reconcile mo 'no, pinagtatagpo mo 'no, kung tama 'no. Okay. Now, yung footing naman, yung foot or add items in a column. So, cross-foot naman, add items in a row, no? Observe or tour, no? Okay, now, ito yung sa observation as one of the data gathering, no? For an area of interest, observe and note physical conditions, no? Example, fencing, temperature, cleanliness, and demarcation. Okay, so, another no? Yung audit procedure and their meaning. Verify. Now, ang verify naman means to confirm, prove, or corroborate the fact is true, no? Now, yung trace naman, this involve tracing of transaction from the source, no? So, tinitignan mo yung ano, yung kanilang sinatawag natin na audit trail, di ba? O, to each destination, which could be financial, operational, or regulatory report. Now, to batch naman is to involves the reverse trace, no? Okay, so from transaction from the destination, no? Okay, to its source. Now, punta na tayo ngayon sa fieldwork. So, alam na natin kung paano doon sa planning. Okay, so kung tatandaan natin, yun na pag-usapan natin sa planning, that means hindi tayo pwedeng unilaterally na magkaroon ng sarili nating objective, no? Ibig sabihin unilateral. Okay, so kailangan meron tayong participative din mula doon sa management. So para ma-identify talaga natin properly kung ano talaga yung objective talaga ng magiging audit. Now, pangalawa din yung risk assessment, no? That will kumbaga sabihin natin mapa-prioritize mo ano ba yung kailangang gawin, So punta na tayo ngayon dito sa fieldwork. Okay. Now sa fieldwork, it is the phase when the most of the testing is performed, 'di ba? And it includes interviewing, documenting, applying testing methodologies, managing fieldwork, and providing status update. So yan yung mga work no under do sa fieldwork. Okay. Now, in fieldwork, determining if the process of program under review is designed effectively. Okay. So, actually, magagawa lang natin 'yan kung alam natin kung ano talaga yung objective, 'di ba? So that the related goals and objectives are likely to be achieved. No, okay. Now, sa fieldwork din, kailangan din nating i-verify that the control is in place are performing as designed by management. Now, ang sinasabi lang dito kung effective pa yung mga internal control that are in place no to mitigate yung risk. Tandaan nga natin lagi, 'di ba? Merong risk, merong control lagi, Okay. Now, type of audit evidence. Now, during the field work, we gather evidence, no? So, tinatawag natin na audit evidence. Now, ano-ano ba yung mga klase ng audit evidence? Ha? Okay. So, yung una, yung testimonials, no? Okay, from the source, no? Kunyari, meron kang ini-interview, 'di ba? Meron kang gustong malaman, 'di ba? Paano mo ba, example nito, paano mo ba ginagawa 'yan? So therefore magbibigay siya ng mga interviews, no? Magbibigay siya ng mga ano. Then you record, no? Okay. Now, yung pangalawa, yung observation. Okay, so tinitignan mo lang siya. Hindi mo naman siya kinakausap. Kung hindi, tinitignan mo lang kung paano niya ginagawa. Okay. Now, yung pangalawa, yung document inspection. So therefore, ito na ngayon, mayroong kunyari insurance, pwede bang makita yung insurance? Then they need to produce, no, yung mga document na yun. Okay. Pang-apat, recalculation and reperformance. Now, recalculation means na tinitignan mo kung tama yung mga computations, no? Okay. And then recalculation and actually reperformance yan, eh. Napag-isa ko, no? Now, professional skepticism. Now, class, pag sinabi natin professional skepticism, hindi ka kagad naniniwala as an auditor dun sa mga ibinibigay na mga dokumento. Hindi naman dahil sa ikaw ay walang tiwala. Kung hindi, kailangan mo ng parang sabihin natin ng additional pa na information to support no sa mga naunang ibinigay. Like for example, yung financial statement lang. Example lang yung financial state o kaya sabihin na lang natin sa operation. Sabing gano'n, yan ay naka-insured. O that is a testimony from the source, di ba? Okay, ang tanong ba doon, maniniwala ka ba kaagad dun sa sinabi nung mismong kausap mo? 'Di ba hindi agad. So yun yung tinatawag natin na professional skepticism. Okay. Now, humihingi pa tayo ng dokumento o pwede mo bang mahingi namin yung kunyari yung insurance policy na meron nagpapatunay talaga na meron talagang insurance yan. So therefore, there is a need for another document, no? O kaya sabihin natin an evidence to support yung unang sinabi. Ah, so that is professional skepticism. Now, ang professional skepticism is internal auditor should be sufficiently suspicious, no? Actually, yung suspicious na yun, hindi naman sa wala kang tiwala. Kung hindi, may level ka lang na hindi nasasapat kaagad sa ilang ano lang, no? So, kailangan mong i-corroborate, no? Whatever yung mga sabihin natin sa sinasabi. So, verify that information is free from manipulation and modification in ways that can compromise its quality. Now, attributes of persuasive audit evidence, no? So, nagagather ka ng evidence, ito yung mga kailangan, no, na present. Relevance, no? Okay, pag sinabi nating relevance, evidence must be relevant to related audit objectives and scope. So, ang ibig sabihin lang ng relevance, may kinalaman. Okay, whatever evidence mo na makukuha ay mayroong kinalaman talaga sa pag-o-audit mo. Ha? Objective versus subjective. Now, class, ang evidence is objective when two or more auditors working independently. Ibig sabihin, objective yan. Now, kumbaga parang objective yan. Ibig sabihin, kung nag-perform ka ng recalculation ng isang bagay, ay mapareho kayo na magiging sagot. No? Okay. Now, documentation. Documented evidence is more persuasive than undocumented evidence. Ha? Okay, externality. Now, evidence obtained from the third party. Okay, ibig sabihin yung nakuha mo dun sa hindi sa loob ng kumpanya, no? Is more persuasive than evidence from the organization being audited. Like for example, sabi ko nga sa inyo yung ano um ano ba tawag dito? Sabihin na lang natin kunyari yung binili na makina. O kaya sabihin na lang natin 'di ba yung yung bank reconciliation. Sample lang 'to 'no, sample. Kunyari sa bank reconciliation, 'di ba kunyari yung meron kang libro na ito nagpapatunay ng pera. So therefore ikaw ang ginagawa mo is nakakuha ka pa ng bank bank ah, ano ba tawag dito, yung kanyang yung debit and credit, yung bank transaction, no? So nakita mo. Now, class, sapat na ba yun? So, mas maganda rin kung kunyari you want to confirm talaga kung magkano yung balance, magkakaroon ka ng confirmation dun sa bank, 'no, na direkta na ibibigay sa'yo yung confirmation kung magkano talaga yung balanse. So, therefore, yung bank is a third party, therefore, it is more persuasive than evidence from within the organization being audited. Okay, so ilagay pa natin yung iba, 'no, yung ano, sample size, 'no. 'Di ba sa sample size natin, class, 'pag nag-o-audit tayo, hindi naman natin lahat ino-audit. Okay, the reason for that kasi limited lang ang resources and time ng isang auditor. So therefore, ang ano natin dito ay nagkakaroon tayo ng sampling for a certain population, ha. Okay. Now, larger samples are generally more persuasive than small samples. Now, yung sampling method naman, paano mo ano, no, paano yung sampling mo, no? Okay, statistical sample are usually more persuasive than non-statistical samples because they reduce the likelihood of sampling bias. Now, yung mga sinabi natin, yung statistical, yung kunyari, sabihin talaga mag-aano ka, no? Mag-iisa-isa ka, no? Unless um, hindi kailangan. Now, corroboration. Corroborated evidence is more persuasive than uncorroborated evidence. Now, ibig sabihin, meron ka pang pangalawa pa, no? Kunyari, sabihin na natin, kunyari, resibo, di ba? Kunyari, meron ka, binigyan ka ng policy. Di ba, sabi natin, kung naka-insured, example. O binigyan ka ng policy na siya na naka-insured. Now, ano pa yung corroborated na pwedeng ilagay natin dun sa policy? O 'di ba yung resibo nung mismo galing sa insurance company na talagang bumili ka, nag-purchase ka nung insurance. Now, timeliness naman, class, recent items are typically more persuasive than older items, no? Or those produced after a delay. Ah, so yung mas bago, mas persuasive yung kesa doon sa luma. Okay, so authoritativeness, no? Authoritative evidence is more persuasive than non-authoritative evidence. Ah, okay, so direct evidence is more persuasive than indirect evidence. And adequacy of control, evidence from a well-controlled, no, and reliable system is more persuasive, no, than evidence from poorly controlled or questionable system. Okay. Now, in IIA 2330, documenting information, no, when it comes to documenting information, internal auditor must document relevant information to support the conclusion and engagement result. Now, it is a requirement, no, na meron ka talagang document talaga that will support your ano, no, conclusion. Meron ka talagang ano, parang sabihin natin working paper, that is one of the evidence, no, na sabihin talaga natin na ginawa talaga yung trabaho. Now, in IIA's Practice Advisory 330 states that the goal of work papers are to, una, document the planning, performance, and review of audit work. Now, yung mga work papers na yan, no, yan yung isa sa mga sabihin natin na mahalaga, no, na evidence na ginawa talaga yung trabaho, no, kaya ka nakapagbigay ng tamang opinion. Now, provide the principal support for audit communication such as observation, conclusion, and final report. Okay. Facilitate third-party reviews and performance requirement. And provide a basis for evaluating the internal audit activity quality control program. So, yan yung ano natin. Okay. Now, yung working papers na banggit natin, 'di ba? Sabi ko nga kanina, ang isa sa mga pinakamaganda na evidence na ginawa talaga ng auditor ay yung kanyang working paper, no? So, a working paper is a collection of evidentiary material showing the planning done, the fieldwork activities performed, and the support for all information mentioned in a audit report. Kumbaga ito yung kung bakit ka nagkaroon ka ng ito yung pinakasabihin natin naging sabihin natin patunay, yun yung word, no? Patunay na gumawa mo talaga yung trabaho bilang isang auditor, ha? So it includes narratives, no? Yung mga working paper will includes yung mga narratives, flowcharts, Okay, in internal control questionnaires, no? And even observations. Okay, ano ba yung mga characteristic of high quality work papers, no, o working papers, no? Okay. Now, plus dapat ang working papers ay properly supervised, no? Okay, so na-review 'yan ng mga supervisor and all review notes should be addressed as needed, no? So, based on sa standard natin na 2340, okay, the standard requires supervision of all engagement. Now, kung ano 'yun, kasi plus ang supervision not just yung sa mga ginagawa, no? So, may direct mo talaga. 'Di ba as a team dapat magamit talaga ng yung resources ng tama. Okay, so ito yung muna yung gawin mo, ito, no? So, dinidirect yan, no? Tapos tinitignan kung merong pagkakamali. So, kumbaga parang dino-double check, no? Okay. Now, cross-reference, no? Work paper should be reference the relevant supporting documentation, no? To facilitate navigation, locate items of interest at a later date, and make sure there is a support for all information in the audit report. Okay. Now, when it comes to approval naman, the relevant audit supervisor should indicate approval of working papers, no? And the date when this is done. Okay, kaya ka lang naman nag-a-approve doon kung sakaling nakita mo na wala nang talagang pagkakamali, no? Okay. Now, typical features of electronic working paper system. Now, class, hindi naman kaila sa atin that nagbabago na ngayon yung ating technology, no? O ating, kunyari, kung as an auditor, nagbabago na rin. Okay, for example, yun nga, yung paggamit nga ng mga, sabihin natin, ng mga electronic devices, yung mga IT programs o yung mga applications that will speed up, no, yung ating some working papers. Okay. So, ano yung mga ano natin, access controls, no? Okay, so ibig sabihin nung makaka-access lang yung mismong gumawa, no, yung auditor. No, budget management, okay, data analytics, no? Ito yung mga sabihin natin kinukuha, no? Yung mga specific statistic, no, for insight, no? Okay. Ang sumunod, integration of popular and productivity tools. Okay, pang-lima, document preparation and tracking. Okay, so isa rin din yung support of multiple users, no? Now, karaniwan ngayon, 'di ba, mayroong 'di ba, parang pupuwede mong i-share yung document for the others, no, kung sakaling merong kailangan. For example, class, may ginagawa ako, yung supervisor malayo, 'di ba? O i-send mo na lang, 'di ba? I-send mo na lang. Puwedeng i-share yun, eh. So makikita nila doon, kunyari, 'di ba, sa Google Docs, 'di ba? Sa Google Docs, 'di ba, puwedeng i-share mo yung document na ginagawa mo from the Google Docs. Now, pupuwede rin dun mag-annotate, puwede din magbago kung kinakailangan. So, nakikita mo. Ngayon, nasaan ba yung kunyari nasa malayo, 'di ba? So, magagawa pa rin, 'no? Okay. Ang sumunod yung report writing, okay. And then review notes, risk and control assessment, risk matrix, 'no? Okay. Task assignment, version control, online and offline functionality, finding documentation and tracking, at yung last, yung time tracking, no? So, eto class, no, ito yung ibig sabihin yung magbibigay sa'yo ng advantage, no? Okay, so usually yung 'pag ano tayo, meron tayong break, eh, no? So, tutuloy-tuloy natin dito kasi naka-record siya, eh. Okay. So, pag-usapan naman natin yung process, no, process. Okay. Now, yung business process muna. Now, yung business process is always equated dun sa no, always rin sa audit trail. Okay, yung process na kasi yan, yung mga business process, yan yung step by step na ginagawa. Now, yan naman pag gusto mo as an auditor, yan naman yung audit trail mo. Now, there are typical features of actually hindi to um not typical features, no? Okay, that yung process natin, yung business process mismo. Now, yung actually, that is designed to meet the objective which are clear. Okay, as regard to competitive issues. Okay, now, typical feature of business process, actually to. Unsatisfactory performance is rectified o inaitama. Performance can be or and is measured, no? Okay. Processes are cost effective, no? Controls are preventive rather than merely permissive, no? Now, as a few movement ends na stages as possible. Unnecessary steps have been eliminated. Proper authorization. Control position as early as possible in the process. Okay, documented and has an audit trail. Okay. Now, in addition, that right people doing the right job and room for adaptation. Define risk within the process itself. So that is yung typical na business process. Okay, there are 6 typical processes, no? Okay, 'di ba sa business process meron, 'di ba? Pero ito yung typical na nangyayari. The revenue process. Now, related to those activities that exchange the organization's product and services for cash. So, ano yung mga process involved in revenue process? Credit granting, processing orders, delivery and shipping. Okay, billing to customer and maintaining accurate and reliable inventory records. And activities associated with accounts receivable. Now, it also includes yung bad debts, including pursuing debtors and writing off balances. And then reflecting the related transaction correctly in an accounting system. Okay. So, ang another typical processes ay yung expenditure process. Okay. So, those activities and systems that acquire goods, services, labor, and property, pay for them and classify, summarize, and report what was acquired and what was paid, no? So, ayan naman yung natin, no? Ensuring suppliers are stable and reliable and able to provide, no, appropriate goods. Requisitioning of goods and services and all activities associated with accounts payable, no? So, it includes yung recruiting and correctly paying staff. Now, another do sa typical processes ay yung production or conversion process. Now, ito class yung when it comes to sa manufacturing. So, the term conversion relates to the utilization of management various resources, no? That includes inventory, stock, labor, and etc. in the process of creating goods. Now, usually, yung materials, labor, and factory overhead. Kung iaan natin sa cost accounting. Now, accountability for the movement and usage of resources up to the point of supply, which then dealt with the revenue cycle. Okay, conversion cycle activities include product accounting, costing, manufacturing, control, and stock management. Okay, so treasury process naman, okay, ito naman so when it comes to credit granting, investment, to processing orders, delivery and shipping, okay, billing to customer. Okay, so includes din yung bad debts. Okay, another sa typical processes ay yung financial reporting processes, no. Ito when it comes to your reporting. Okay. So, this process is not based on the basic processing of transaction. Actually, ito class na consider na lahat, no. Lahat ng transaction. Now, as a result to various interested parties. Now, yung corporate framework process naman to do with the development and maintenance of values, culture, and ethics. Now, when it comes to governance, no, So effective management, strategic infrastructure, control framework that should aim to give the underlying direction, structure, and effectiveness on control. Okay. So dito na tayo ngayon, no? So process, no? Internal audits are evaluation that assess the company's internal operation, including their accounting process. Now, nabanggit natin yung mga typical processes, no, na involved. So corporate governance and other internal control. Now, sa process audit methodology class, meron tayo, no? Ito, pag-usapan natin. Paano ba ginagamit, paano ba ginagawa yung process audit? So, therefore, ito, unahin muna natin yung inputs and then whatever yung planning, okay, yung process, output, at syempre, meron dyan tayong tinatawag na other processes, no? Now, ang ano natin class, ang una nating ginagawa is to understand how this process interact with other business processes. 'Di ba meron tayong ino-audit na processes. Okay, ano naman yung ano pa yung mga parang sabihin natin na involved, no? Na other na sabihin natin na other entity doon sa process na ating ino-audit. Kasi meron din sa kanilang epekto rin. So whatever yung ano natin, kunyari maging findings natin, ito, may epekto yun dun sa ano, no, kung sino pa yung ibig sabihin nakikipag-interact, ha? Now, define all the ano, all the process, no? Define all the inputs such as customer order and raw materials. Now, define then no, all process output including finished goods, services, information, design, and drawing. Now, class, tinitingnan mo kasi yung kanilang, kaya tinitingnan mo yung kanilang mga inputs and outputs para makumpara mo. 'Di ba? Maikumpara mo kung tama o hindi. Okay. Ensure that they are taking the overall objective targets in an account. Okay. Now, class, dito may nadagdagan pa tayo, no? Aside from dun sa una natin na binigay na process. Okay. Now, dito, class, papasok na ngayon dito yung tinatawag natin na, okay, yung quality policy, no? Okay. Now, meron kang policy, 'di ba, doon sa process, kinukumpara 'yan doon sa policy. 'Di ba, yun yung ano mo yun yung comparison mo. Kung ito ba ay naaayon o hindi, 'di ba? So, yung policy na 'yan includes yung continual improvement, that is the reason why kung bakit may audit. Now, yung objectives and target, no? So, ibig sabihin sa continual improvement is ito yung ano, no, ito yung pamamaraan para na sa ganun maging mas maganda pa yung process. Now, yung objectives and target, ano ba yung sabihin natin na pag-usapan na objective with the management and corrective and preventive. Now, kasama diyan yung KPI, no, yung key performance identification. Okay. Now, yung ano yan, yun yung involved nun sa process. Okay, tandaan natin yung process plus at saka yung kanilang policy ay kinukumpara kung sakaling merong mga gap na involved. Now, determine which key performance indicator are used to monitor the performance of the process and show how this KPI relate to the objectives and target. Now, whenever targets are not being met, there are clear action plan to address the deficiency. Now, class, dun pumapasok ngayon yung corrective and preventive. Now, just in case yung process ay naikumpara dun sa KPI o kaya dun sa output, ano yung mga requirement, no? Okay, so therefore, meron dapat talagang corrective and preventative, no? Okay, this action plan can trigger continual improvement or corrective preventive action. Ha? Okay. Now, class, dito rin, meron ulit tayong bago, no? Okay. Now, class, yung mga customer, yung new customer, no? Actually, sa kanila, class, makakakuha ka rin, no? 'Di ba? That will be used as a part of the policy. 'Di ba? So, that is yung ano, yung new customer. Now, kasama rin diyan yung IT, no? Okay, so kung kailangan meron diyan is yung calibration. Okay, to meet yung ano para do sa needs ng new customer. Okay. Okay. Now, ano yung gagawin natin? Determine how the organization know if their process output is meeting the defined customer requirement. Okay, so that is yung customer requirement, no, na ilalagay kasama din sa policy. Ha? So isasama yun sa policy kung yun sa requirement. Nagbabago yung requirement ng mga customer. Okay. Now, aside from that, ensure that this monitoring is using inspection, measuring the test, no, device that had been calibrated. Okay, so therefore dapat na ano, parang ibig sabihin no, verification lang no nung needs ng customer, no? Okay. Now, calibration meaning, 'di ba, parang sabihin natin, pag merong sinasabi tayong calibration, meaning fini-fit mo, you're trying to fit yung sinasabi natin that will be part of the policy. Part nung ano yun, no? Okay. So, see how they identify and handle any non-conformity, and this is used to trigger corrective and prevent action. So, therefore, kaya merong arrow dyan sa corrective and prevention. Okay, so tuloy pa rin natin, no? No, ito class madadagdagan pa ulit tayo. Yan. So calibration. Now, ano pa yung madadagdag natin? Yung infrastructure and work environment, no? Na dapat i-consider when it comes to processes. Now, sometimes kasi may epekto 'yon sa pag-process, no? So, preventive maintenance is also, no? Okay. 'Di ba kunyari kung yung puro yung ano mo, yung puro yung working environment, 'di ba? Hindi maganda. Magagawa mo ba ng tama yung pag-process, no? Nung ano, yung processing na sa ano, sa pagpo-process nung sa operation. So hindi, 'di ba? So therefore kailangan din tingnan. Okay, so preventive maintenance, no, to make sure yung infrastructure and work environment ay nasa maayos. So it's important for the ongoing ano po, see if it has been documented. No? So yun yung isang bagay na kailangan, dapat naka-document siya. Now, examine the work environment to ensure workers' health and safety and security are protected, no? Also determine their infrastructure needs such as sufficient lighting and computers, no? Kung kinakailangan. Okay. Okay. Now, madadagdagan tayo, no? So, kailangan din makita natin yung resources na involved to process. Okay, baka mayroon bang sapat na budget, no? Okay. And then also yung competence din, no, nung mga nagpo-process. Ha? Okay, determine the resources needed to operate the process. Okay, so ang ano rin dito, yung resources, yung ating ano, yung now yung resources need to be qualified on the basis of their education. So therefore this is ano no, addressing yung competence. Okay, procedures and document control, no. So determine what kind of training, procedures and work instruction is required in order to meet the qualification needs. Okay. So yan yung ano na. Okay, number 4 na tayo. Okay, so pinag-usapan natin yung audit, no, yung process, no. Ito naman retail audit naman. So pag-usapan natin yung retail audit. Okay, so sa retail audit usually, 'di ba, kunyari, yung mga Jollibee, 'di ba, meron siya lang main company, tapos yung retail audit nila yung mga branches. Okay, so paano yung retail audit? Now, retail audit, pag dinefine natin, it is a systematic evaluation of retail stores, yung mga tindahan, no, of various aspect. Okay. It is essentially the health check, no, for the store, assessing its strength and weaknesses across the different areas. Okay. Now, retail audit typically covers, no, ito yung mga store operation, okay, visual merchandising, no. So, dito sa store operation, syempre yung compliance, no. Ensure the store adheres the company policies and procedure, as well as relevant legal and safety regulations na pinatutupad. Now, this includes things like handling cash, pricing accuracy, and proper handling of hazardous material kung meron man, no, na meron doon. Okay. Now, Inventory management naman, actually under sa store operation, no? Ang isa sa mga parang kino-cover din. Now, it evaluates the stock level, stock accuracy, and inventory control process to minimize shrinkage or loss of inventory. Ah, okay, baka mamaya merong kunyari nagtitinda ng pabango. Tapos yun pala, yung mga pabango nila nakabukas lang. O therefore, there is a, parang sabihin natin, negligence. So, tinitingnan talaga kung nasusunod, no, when it comes to inventory management. Now, yung pangatlo, yung customer service. Okay, paano ba pinakikiharapan yung mga customer? Now, assess the staff interaction with customer, adherence to customer service protocol, and overall customer satisfaction. Ha? Okay, so sa visual merchandising naman class is sa planogram compliance. Check if products are displayed according to predetermined plans, no, o planograms, no, that optimize product visibility and sale. Okay. Now, product presentation evaluates how product are arranged, no? So ino-audit din 'yun, no? 'Di ba? And displayed to create appealing and customer-friendly shopping experience. Okay. Now, ano ba yung mga kino-cover niya? Siyempre, yung una, yung sales performance, no? So data analysis, review sales figures, identify trends, 'di ba? And analyze factors influencing sales performance. Okay, promotional effectiveness, no? Assess the effectiveness of ongoing promotion and marketing campaign. Kung meron man, no? Kunyari, naka-sale ang 30, ano bang epekto nun sa overall sales? Nag-increase ba? 'Di ba? So, kung hindi naman, so kumbaga pa ito class, that is, o kaya sabihin na lang natin sa promotional effectiveness when it comes to strategy para mabili pa yung produkto. Now, kung just in case hindi nagkaroon ng benta based on that kind of strategy, then kailangan palitan, di ba? So, more para at least ma-generate ng cash o ng sales, no? Now, ano yung mga benefit of retail audits? Una, syempre, yung improve operational efficiency. Kaya ka nga nag-audit di ba? Because you also want to know kung paano matutulungan at maging maging effective yung branch or yung sabihin natin retail store. So identifying and rectifying inefficiencies, no, just in case na meron in store operation can lead to cost savings and improve overall performance, no? Okay, enhance customer experience, no? By ensuring adherence to customer service standard and optimizing product presentation, you can create more positive shopping experience for customer. Okay, increase sales, siyempre, yun yung isa sa mga magiging benefit, no? So addressing stocks issues, optimizing product placement, and evaluating promotional effectiveness. Now, data-driven decision making. Now, class, you can you can get feedbacks, 'di ba? From the customer, no? Actually, mas madali nga kung e-commerce 'di ba? Kasi yung mga click na kikita mo kaagad. Pero dito sa physical talaga sinasabi natin na brick and mortar. Now, pag sinabi natin class na brick and mortar, that's a physical store. Pero pag sinabi naman natin na click, no, and mortar, that means sa internet, no, nangyari yung retailing. Okay. So therefore, yung data driven, you can ask no feedbacks, 'di ba? 'Di ba, yung merong mga dun yung katulad nung sa Shakey's, 'di ba? Um, I don't know kung na-experience ninyo na every time na meron sila binibigay na no. May binibigay sila na um, parang survey, no, na para to fill out. Now, meron din class ako na-experience ko rin na one time dito sa no, Krispy Kreme, no. Okay, nung bumili ako ng donut, they gave you parang mag-aano ka doon sa receipt nila, meron sila doon na parang QR code, no, na pag ini-scan mo, pupunta ka talaga doon sa talaga doon sa sa website nila to do a survey, 'di ba? To do a survey. So that is one way, 'di ba? Kunyari wala talaga sa internet. Okay, ito yung isang example na makakakuha ka ng mga data coming from the customer. So once na na-fill up mo 'yon, magge-generate yun ng code. Ipapakita mo 'yon dun sa kahera for a free, no, one donut, no? So bibigyan ka nila ng donuts as incentive, no, para gawin mo talaga yung sabihin natin survey na pinapipilapan nila. So therefore, that is a data-driven. Now, from that data, syempre makaka-create ka ng insight, 'di ba? Kunyari, ano ba yung nagustuhan mo? Ano ba yung parang sabihin mo na ano yung parang mali? Therefore, you can correct, 'di ba? Yung mga sabihin natin na sabihin natin kunyari kung merong hindi nagustuhan, 'di ba? So you can correct, no? Okay. Now, kasama pa dito class yung dito, no? Actually, matatapos na tayo. Now, retail audit can be conducted by sino-sino yung pwedeng mag-conduct ng retail audit. Siyempre, una diyan yung mga internal auditors, no? So, large retail chains often dedicated internal audit teams responsible for evaluating store performance. They can also hire third-party audit firms, no, to conduct audit in behalf of them, no, in behalf do sa ano. Many companies outsource retail audits to independent firms specializing in this area. But you can also, yung sabi natin, yung manufacturers and distributor, no? Brands may conduct audit in the retailer to ensure compliance with brand standard and marketing agreement, no? Kunyari, doon sa mga retail, di ba, sa mga um, ibig sabihin, kunyari, parang consignment, di ba, yung mga ganun. So, usually, ito yun sa manufacturer and distributor audit. Okay. So I think that's all, no, na ano na natin, na take up na natin, ha? Okay, so before I conclude na yung ating lesson, so let me give you something na pabaon, no? Wisdom is the right use of knowledge, according to Charles Spurgeon, ha? So yan yung ano natin. So thank you sa inyo, class. Don't forget yung ating yung ating student parang evaluation, student evaluation. Now, ito yung aking libro, no, na aking ginagamit as a source on. Now, aside from that, meron din akong kinukuha din sa internet, no. Pero ito yung pinaka-main nila, no. Okay, kung sakaling kumuha ko sa internet just to parang sabihin natin to expand o kaya sabihin natin mas bigyan panlinaw yung nabanggit dito sa dalawang libro nito. Okay, so thank you sa inyo, class, and see